Good evening, everyone. We have a full house tonight and a full agenda, so we're going to go down the agenda as expeditiously as possible. I would like to call the April 14th, 2026 council meeting to order and ask the clerk to call the roll.
Dr. Lee.
Here.
Ms. Simmons.
Here.
Ms. Mapp.
Here.
Ms. Pendergast.
Here.
Dr. Wells.
Here.
Ms. Shinholster.
Here.
All right, we have a quorum present and can continue with the meeting. So if you will, please stand and join me in the prayer and then the pledge. And I'm going to ask young Mr. Levi to come to the front. He's going to render us our pledge tonight after the prayer. So when I finish with the prayer, Mr. Levi, we want you to go ahead. You can stand right there, and we'll give you a nod when you can get started with the pledge. Stand behind the podium right there. Thank you, sir. Eternal Father God, we thank you for this day. What a beautiful day it is that you have assembled us here together to conduct the business of the city of Milledgeville. We thank you, Lord God, as you look down upon each and every person represented here today, that you allow us to come together to agree, to disagree, but yet to reason all in one. Father, we thank you for every person represented, the first responders, those that are shut in, sick and bereaved, families going through. We ask you to continue to bless them, look upon them as you forever smile upon them. It is this your servant's prayer. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Yes, sir, you have the floor.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Levi.
Thank you.
We do have several that have signed in tonight for public comments. Let me read the decorum for the evening. When it comes to our public comments, citizens wishing to speak during a city council work session must complete all areas of this form. If you do not sign up to speak prior to the start of this meeting, you will not have an opportunity to speak. Citizens are not allowed to speak openly during the meeting unless first recognized by the presiding officer, typically the mayor. When the presiding officer calls their name, citizens may speak for no more than 3 minutes. Citizens who attend the meeting as a part of a group may not give their time to another member of the group. The presiding officer may stop the person from speaking if the remarks or gesture are profane, abusive, inflammatory, or otherwise offensive. Persons who refuse to stop speaking at the direction of the presiding officer may be escorted from the meeting by a law enforcement officer at the request of the presiding officer. A maximum of 5 citizens will be allowed to speak during any single meeting. Speaking opportunities are first come, first served. And the first person on our list tonight is our State House Representative, Mr. Floyd Griffin. If you will, Mr. Griffin, come to the podium, state your name and address for the record.
Good evening. My name is Floyd Griffin, and I preside here in Milledgeville. Before I make my comments, I want to say to the council that this is my first opportunity to come to one of your council meetings since you all were sworn in. I was here for that because you all know that I've been in the legislature, and we signed that on the 2nd of last month. But I'm here at the request of the family of Miss Julia Ingram, and basically a part of my family, because I grew up not in that area, but attended Union Baptist Church, which is on Clark Street, and my family church at that time. And Miss Ingram has known me since I was born. I knew her family, her father and mother that lived there on Hall Street, all of her siblings, and her children. But more importantly than that, Miss Ingram was a fighter. She believed in the civil rights movement and what it would do to help people of color and just people in general to try to bring people together. When I moved back here about 34 years ago and decided to run for Senate, Miss Ingram was one of the first persons that I talked to about doing that, because she used to work very vividly and strong in the area of elections. And I won that election, she and others, but she and other individuals got out and worked real hard to make that happen. And all the elections up until the last few years, she's always been there to support me and to support this community. I think that it is time for us to recognize her. The family is requesting that a street be named after her. Hall Street, not a long street, but a lot of people grew up on that street that have gone and done some great things in this country, in this state, and for this community. So I wholeheartedly recommend that you all support their request. I don't know if an ordinance has been given or not. What is that? That's my 3 minutes?
3 minutes, sir. Thank you for
Yeah,
your time.
let me finish up like I would do if I was in the whale.
You ain't in the whale, so go ahead and cut it off.
I yield the whale.
Thank you, Ms. Griffin. All right, the next person we have is Miss Peggy Longino Chester. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Chester.
Thank you very much, and I'm honored to be here for this family today. My name is Peggy Longino Chester, and I'm a member of the Longino clan that lives here in Milledgeville, Georgia. But I'm one of those that grew up on West Hall Street here in Milledgeville. And at that time when we were growing up, we had that red clay street that we roller skated on. But it was home, and it was a place that we loved so much, because Miss Julia May was one of the ones that really helped keep us in order on that street, in that family. We had the Landers family, the Longino family, and other families, the Vassar families. But Miss Julia May was a strong force for us. Now, and I had one of our family members that had moved away and came back, and she came back to Georgia, and she said that the first thing she did, and she sent me a note, as a matter of fact, she said that she had the privilege of working for the Southern Christian Leadership Conference for a while, and when she mentioned to the staff that she was from Milledgeville, the first thing the SCLC staff asked her is that, did she know Miss Julia May Ingram? And Miss Julia May Ingram was a strong woman. She was strong, she was affectionate, she was known to stand for what was right, and even sometimes at the unwarranted risk of her family. She thought up everything that was right and all of the things that needed to be done. Not only was she the one of the neighborhood mothers who nurtured the children of Hall Street, Clark Street, Liberty Street, and other areas, but a voice to be reckoned with. She was a strong woman, and I think that in order to recognize her, she is totally due for this street to be renamed for Julia May Ingram. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Chester. We appreciate your comments tonight. And finally, tonight, our third speaker is Miss Barbara Ingram, the daughter of Miss Julia Ingram. Julia May, I'm sorry.
Good afternoon. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor, council members. Take off my glasses so I can see. And I'm going to read tonight because it's too much. We're writing to honor the legacy of our mother, Miss Julia May Butts Ingram. She was a remarkable woman whose life was rooted in love, service, courage, and faith. Her lifelong dedication to her family, civil rights, and community left an enduring impact on Milledgeville and shaped the lives who knew her. Ms. Ingram was born in 1928 and raised in Milledgeville. She grew up with 5 siblings and attended Eddy High School. Early in life, she joined Union Baptist Church, where her faith became the foundation of everything she did. She married Mr. Willie Ingram and was the proud mother of 5 children. Ms. Ingram was a committed civil rights activist who stood firmly for equality and justice for all who were treated unfairly. During the movement of the 60s and 70s, she opened her home to activists, marched alongside crowds, provided food. She was a true fighter who worked alongside notable leaders such as the late Hosea Williams, Ralph David Abernathy, Lewis Hewley Sr., Collins P. Lee, Louise Austin, Beverly Calhoun, Oscar Davis Sr., P.L. Braswell, Cover Kid, Floyd Griffin, and Robert Rice, just to name a few. She worked effortlessly to register voters, serve the polling location, and support political campaigns for local, state, and federal leaders. Beyond activism, Ms. Ingram was a servant to her community in every sense. She fed the hungry, helped the homeless, and volunteered countless of hours in hospice care. She was employed by Baldwin County Hospital and Central State Hospital. She instilled in her children, us, and all of those around her the belief that every person has a voice and that injustice should never be accepted. She never backed down from doing what was right, even if it was difficult. Her life of service earned her numerous awards for her work in the community, her church, her profession, and hospice care. If anyone ever called Mama, she showed up with compassion, strength, and determination. She was a loving mother, a loyal friend, and the pillar of the community. Ms. Ingram peacefully entered eternal rest on June 5, 2023, embraced and comforted by her loving family and friends. We respectfully submit that the street on which Ms. Ingram lived her entire life be named in her honor. She raised her family on the street, served her community from the home, and devoted her life to justice, service, and love. Naming the street after her will be a lasting tribute to her legacy and a meaningful honor to her family and the community she faithfully served. Respectfully, Barbara Ingram, Glenda Sams, and Sandra Hurt. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Miss Barbara, for coming and presenting that to
And
us.
I do have copies, if I may.
Okay, just sit them down. Yes, ma'am. Sit them on that end, and they'll
Sure.
push them around to us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, so that completes our public comment section for tonight. This evening, we have 2 proclamations tonight. The first proclamation, I would like to invite the family of the late Mr. Johnny W. Grant Jr. to come forward to receive the proclamation in recognition of his dedicated public service. So do we have any family here tonight for our former mayor? Oh, come on. Everybody's looking at me like, that's the man, yes, I'm more than me. You all know that medically I went through some, but that went through me and I'm here now. So, thank you. I don't want y'all to be behind me, I want you to be, let me get it right there. Yeah. There you go. Okay, and, when you all are ready, y'all there, go ahead and read it.
Proclamation, Office of the Mayor, City of Milledgeville, Georgia. Whereas John W. Grant, Jr. dedicated his life to public service, first by serving our country in the United States Navy, followed by his career in his family's jewelry business, J.C. Grant Company, proudly recognized as the oldest retail business in Milledgeville, where he worked as a fine jeweler and watchmaker, and finally, for 24 years as an elected official of the Milledgeville City Council, including 4 years as mayor. And whereas fondly known as Johnny, he led his life with selfishness and integrity, purposeful opinions, unwavering resilience, quick-witted one-liners, lifelong friendships, and a deep love and commitment to his family. And whereas Mr. Grant was recognized for excellence in his profession as a jeweler, including being named Distinguished Jeweler of the Year by the Georgia Jewelers Association in 1997, and as a dedicated civic leader, he worked closely with the Milledgeville Police and Fire Departments, championing improvements to the city's water infrastructure to strengthen firefighting capabilities and help lower insurance costs for residents. And during his tenure as mayor, he further enhanced public safety by investing in the city's first fire truck capable of serving Milledgeville's tallest building. And whereas Johnny Grant was much respected for his ability to fix almost anything, his generosity, his willingness to always lend a helping hand, and most of all, his commitment to serving his community. And whereas Johnny Grant leaves a legacy of humble service and made a notable impact on the people of our community, and it is proper and fitting to highlight his life, his many contributions, and his memory by proclaiming a special day in his honor. Now, therefore, I, Mary Parham Copeland, as mayor of the city of Milledgeville, do hereby proclaim April 14th, 2026 as John William Grant Jr. Day in the city of Milledgeville, and encourage all citizens to reflect on his service to the residents of the city of Milledgeville and to his family and friends. Whereas I have, I'm sorry. I can't read that. Okay, I can't, okay. Whereas I have hereunto set my hand and seal and caused this seal to be affixed on this 14th day of April 2026, Mayor Parham Copeland, Mayor, City of Milledgeville.
Late, but better late than never. We did get it out. I hate we are so far behind in representing our former mayor, but now we are here to represent him, and thank you all for taking the time.
Mayor, with permission, to just take y'all and come around here in a semicircle. We're going to get to, okay?
Let's see. I have to put the men
Sorry, I have to go back to you guys. Y'all come up closer. That's perfect. Yeah, and if you want to present, have the proclamation presented to one of the family members, that's great. Super. Y'all come in. Yeah, it's been around here. Thanks. Good. Good. Thanks. I'll put you right there. Thank you, sir. So I can see. Once more. Thank y'all very much.
Second proclamation we have tonight comes at the request of Keep Milledgeville Baldwin Beautiful, KMBB, and I would like to invite the representatives from the Keep Milledgeville Baldwin Beautiful to join me up front. Yeah. Dr. Will's coming first. Just have you all tonight.
Proclamation, City of Milledgeville. Whereas the planet Earth holds a unique position in the universe, not because of its location in the spirals of the Milky Way, not because of its massive size, extreme gravitational pull, or one-of-a-kind stardust, Earth is unique because it nurtures the only planet in this vast universe that we humans know that life exists. And whereas the grand details of life on this planet, including our own, rest in a delicate balance of many well-engineered and complex set of ecosystems that depend on each other for stability, substance, and longevity. And whereas each year we are reminded that the millennia of man has taken a grave toll on the delicate balance of life, and each year we are also reminded that all of us are the stewards of life, we are the protectors of our planet, and we are the champions of nature. And whereas each of us is duty bound to protect our planet as the precious jewel that it is, to respect life as it has been given to us, and to fear the result of an unbalanced biosphere. Whereas Keep Milledgeville Baldwin Beautiful seeks not only to protect our portion of the planet, but also seeks to educate our community on the value of sustainability, conservation, recycling, and litter control. Now therefore, I, Mary Parham Copeland, as the mayor of the city of Milledgeville, do hereby proclaim Sunday, April 19th through Saturday, April 25th, 2026 as Earth Week, Keep Milledgeville Baldwin Beautiful Week. Wherefore I have hereunto set my hand and caused this seal to be affixed on this 14th day of April, 2026. Mary Parham Copeland, Mayor, City of Milledgeville.
You have all received a copy of the March 24th, 2026 council meeting minutes. Are there any corrections or amendments that need to be made? I watch for eyes. I normally catch some mistakes, so I'm just giving them a second to make sure. All right, hearing none, is there a motion to adopt the March 24th, 2026 council meeting minutes?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. I'll ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Dr. Lee.
Aye.
Ms. Simmons.
Aye.
Ms. Mapp.
Aye.
Ms. Pendergast.
Aye.
Dr. Wells.
Aye.
Ms. Shanholster.
Aye.
The motion carries and the minutes are approved. I really don't have a whole lot of comments tonight, and I'm gonna forego them tonight. I do have some, but I'm gonna forego those until the next meeting since we have such a full agenda tonight. Let's see, do we have any Georgia College and State University students here tonight? You can stand and let us see who you are. And what class are you from? Whose class are you from? Okay. What are you all doing in that particular class? Are you journalism or just government? Just government. Well, welcome. We're glad to have you here with us tonight and come back. We know you're getting ready to hit spring break, but we do want you all to come back. Okay. Thank you. Oh, it's graduation time. I'm sorry, Ms. Shanholster just correct me. Do we have any seniors back there or all freshmen and juniors? All freshmen. Well, you'll be back with us. Are there any other students? We know we had our young man. The young man that rendered the pledge for us and some more students back there. You all stand and tell us where you're from, who used to race.
That's the Lakeview Academy ambassadors,
Oh,
Mr.
okay.
Joel Respis.
Okay. Lakeview Academy Respite
Ambassadors.
Ambassador. Okay.
This is Levi Giesling and this is Hazel Harris.
Okay.
They are fifth grade students at Lakeview Academy, and they're part of the ambassador program, which is the student role model program. We're just here to do it. We gotta work with us.
Thank you. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you all for coming out and sharing tonight. We have been diligently trying to get students to serve on Milledgeville City Council Youth Academy. So if you all think about it, please let us know if you're interested. All right. At this time, we'll move to the city manager's report, and I'll recognize Ms. Hilson Butts at this time.
Good afternoon. I don't really have any comments for tonight, Mayor. I think, as you said, we have a full agenda, and I think everything's straightforward.
Okay, thank you. All right, we will now move to old business tonight, which is a part of the agenda. We have 9 public hearings to conduct tonight, all of which are related to land use. However, we're going to read them all in a mass, and then we'll vote on them individually. So, who's reading? Courtney or
Ms. Jackie.
okay. All right, so read all of them, Ms. Jackie, at one time.
We have 2 separate ones before the 7.
Oh, okay, I thought we would do this. Go ahead and read the first 2. I mean, the first one first, I'm sorry.
Ordinance 0-2601-
Well, I'm sorry, let me back up. Since we're doing this separately, let me back up and give the instructions. The procedure for conducting all the public hearings will be as follows. Once it has been determined that the public hearing has been properly posted and advertised, the clerk will read the proposed amendment to the Land Development Code. We will then hear a report from the Planning and Zoning Administrator, including the advisory decision of the Planning and Zoning Commission. Council will first hear from the applicant and anyone who wishes to speak in favor of the amendment. We will then hear from anyone who wishes to speak in opposition to the amendment. If anyone speaks in opposition to the amendment, we will then give the applicant an opportunity for rebuttal, but the rebuttal must be limited to the points or issues raised by the opposition. We will then give the opposition the opportunity to speak in rebuttal. They too must limit comments to the points or issues raised. Please make sure that before you speak that you come to the podium and give your name and address for the record. Anyone wishing to speak on the matter is encouraged to do so, but comments must remain relevant, concise, and polite. The first public hearing is for 133 Shop Road. Madam Clerk, has this public hearing been properly posted and advertised?
Yes.
I will ask the clerk to read ordinance O-2601 by caption.
Mayor, you want me to read them all through?
No,
all
not,
9?
the first 2 that are separate, you're gonna do those separately, and then we'll do the last 7 in a mass.
Okay, ordinance O-2601-01. Conduct a public hearing of an ordinance amending the Land Development Code to allow for the rezoning of property located at 133 Shop Road. This property is currently owned by Central State Hospital Redevelopment Authority and zoned OI Office Institutional. Applicant Ivar Tanner Baltachi, I'm sorry, wishes to rezone property at LI Light Industrial to be used as a meat processing facility, cold storage, packaging, and wholesale distribution.
All right, at this time, I will recognize the zoning administrator to come and give a report. Mr. Barnesville.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. This application was initially brought before Planning and Zoning on February 2nd, but due to miscommunication, the applicant didn't show up, and it was tabled. Planning and Zoning met again on March 2nd, and Mr. Envar assured the panel that there would be no slaughter on the premises. It's basically be processing and distribution. And the motion passed. All in favor? Anybody have any questions?
So we don't have anyone here to speak, is what you're saying, in reference to it? Oh, okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Please come to the podium and state your name and address for the record, and then you can speak in reference to it.
I'm Patty Burns. I live in Edenton, Georgia, and I'm here on the behalf of the buyer. Do y'all have any questions?
Can you tell us a little bit about the shop, what it's going to be used for?
It's going to be used for meat processing, cold storage, freezer storage. They'll be processing the meat in different types of product and shipping it out.
Just processing, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not killing or
Okay.
anything like that.
No. There won't be any sales there at
No.
that location?
No sales.
Okay.
And that is the building right off of the kitchen area coming back round.
Right.
Okay,
It's
so-
right across from the dorms and apartments and the Lawrence building.
The old Lawrence.
Central Kitchen.
It's at Central Kitchen.
I mean, it's pretty much not so much we rezoned it, but it's more of a correction in the zoning because it's always been office institutional, and this has always been a light manufacturing type facility for all the past uses.
Because I was trying to get a clear picture. I looked at the picture on the, that you was sent in. I saw that, and I was trying to really get the feel for it off of Central Kitchen off Shop Road. Is that going on that back side? Right there where the kitchen on the very end at the tip? At the kitchen, at the tip. It's in the kitchen. Okay.
It's the kitchen.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
Inside.
Okay. I have no more questions. I don't know about anybody else. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone here wishing to speak in opposition? Okay. All right, hearing that we don't have any opposition on this particular ordinance, council, you don't have any other questions? This is going to conclude the presentation of evidence in the public hearing. Is there a motion on it?
Madam Mayor, I make a motion that we accept the findings of the Planning and Zoning Board and approve the request.
Second.
It's been properly motioned and second. I'll ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Dr. Lee? Ms. Simmons?
I have to abstain at this time for possible conflict of interest.
Ms. Mapp? Ms.
Yes.
Mapp? Okay. Ms. Pendergast? Dr. Wells?
Aye.
Ms. Shinholster?
Aye.
All right, so, the, what's the ordinance again? All right, the ordinance is approved. All right, the second public hearing is for 900 Barrows Ferris Road. Madam Clerk, has this public hearing been properly posted and advertised?
Yes.
I'll ask the clerk to read ordinance O-2602-02 by caption.
Ordinance 0-2602-02, conduct a public hearing of an ordinance amending the Land Development Code for property located at 900 Barrows Ferry Road. Property is owned by John Swartz and zone SFR2, Single Family Residential 2. The owner wishes to have property rezoned to CC, Community Commercial, to allow for a vehicle repair and maintenance service shop.
All right, this time I recognize our zoning administrator, Mr. Barneswell, for his report.
This location was previously a garage before. The previous occupant, Elizabeth Martin, she moved to Mobley Road to put her garage there. This is a kind of a weird scenario because you have a heavy industrial right across the street, right next to an office, heavy industrial. So this was voted on March 2nd. The motion passed. All in favor? Is there any questions?
Anyone have any questions for Mr. Barnesville?
You said across the street from it is?
Across the street is zoned heavy industrial. I think it used to be
Brickyard?
what was it?
Was it the old brickyard you talking about?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
It's a broad brickyard.
So this was formerly a shop anyway, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Mhm.
The previous owner was Elizabeth Martin. She moved to
Uh-huh.
Mobley Road.
She moved out of Central State Hospital.
Yes, ma'am.
Mhm.
Alan Martin.
That road right there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is there anyone who's present here to speak in favor of this? Come on up, sir, and state your name. When you get to the podium, state your name and address, and then you can address the council.
Trying to figure out how that got.
Good evening. My name's John Schwartz. I'm from Monticello, Georgia, here representing 900 Barrows Ferry Road. And is there any questions that I can answer?
Said it was already zoned that, so.
No, it was all single family.
It's a shop now.
It's a shop now. But
Yes.
it was a shop, but it was zoned single family before it became.
Yeah, we're trying to figure that one out.
Might have been grandfathered in, I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. Had to have been.
Was it grandfathered, Mr. Barnesville?
Yes, ma'am.
It was.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Any questions for?
So this is gonna be a vehicle repair shop as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
All right, thank you, sir. We're not
Thank
gonna
you.
make you stand up there and look pretty for us. All right, is there anybody here that would like to speak in opposition to this public hearing? All right, hearing none, council, are we okay with questions and concerns? All right, this concludes the presentation of evidence in this public hearing. Is there a motion?
Madam Mayor, I make a motion to accept the findings of the Planning and Zoning Board and approve the request.
Second.
I've been properly motioned and second. I'll ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Dr. Lee,
Aye.
Ms. Simmons,
I have to abstain from this one.
Ms. Mapp,
Aye.
Ms. Pendergast,
Aye.
Dr. Wells,
Aye.
Ms. Shinholster.
Aye.
All right, so ordinance is approved. All right, the remaining public hearings will be made en masse and then adopted and passed individually. The next 7 public hearings are for 120 North Elbert Street, 151 North Jefferson Street, 211 East McIntosh Street, 141 North Jefferson Street, 131 North Jefferson Street, 200 North Elbert Street, and 230 East McIntosh Street. Madam Clerk, has these public hearings been properly posted and advertised?
Yes.
Mayor, they can be done in mass so long as the applicants agree to do it in mass. If they're, you may want to determine whether or not there's any objection.
That's fine. I think we had talked about it.
Yeah, yes,
I
ma'am.
had spoken with them in reference to it.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so at this particular time, I'll recognize the zoning administrator for the report. Well, did you,
I need to read.
well, let her read one first. It'll cover all of them.
You gotta read, they got different addresses.
Ordinance. Gotta read them all.
You said in mass.
They got different addresses.
Go ahead.
Ordinance O-2602-03, conduct a public hearing of an ordinance amending the Land Development Code to allow a special use of property located at 120 North Elbert Street. This property is currently owned by Duckworth Holdings and Zone CBC. Owner desires a special use to allow for the development of a downtown hotel with restaurant project. Ordinance 0-2602-04, conduct a public hearing of an ordinance amending the Land Development Code to allow for the rezoning and special use of property located at 151 North Jefferson Street. This property is currently owned by Duckworth Holdings and Zone CBC. Owner desires a special use for the development of a downtown hotel with restaurant project. Ordinance 0-2602-05, conduct a public hearing of an ordinance amending the Land Development Code to allow a special use of property located at 211 East McIntosh Street. This property is currently owned by Adam Fabian and Zone CBC. Owner desires a special use to allow for the development of a downtown hotel with restaurant project. Ordinance 0-2602-06, conduct a public hearing of an ordinance amending the Land Development Code to allow for the rezoning and special use of property located at 141 North Jefferson Street. This property is currently owned by William and Debbie Thompson and Zone CBC. Owner desires a special use for the development of a downtown hotel and restaurant project. This historic home on this property will be preserved and incorporated into the hotel project as a restaurant. Ordinance 0-2602-07. Conduct a public hearing of an ordinance amending the Land Development Code to allow for the rezoning and use and special use of property located at 131 North Jefferson Street. This property is currently owned by Pendergast Properties LLC and Zone MR2. Owner desires to rezone property to CBC with a special use for the development of a downtown hotel with restaurant project. Ordinance 0-2602-08 to conduct a public hearing of an ordinance amending the Land Development Code to allow for the rezoning and special use of property located at 200 North Elbert Street. This property is currently owned by Eagle Place Holdings LLC and Zone SFR2. The owner desires to rezone property to CBC with a special use for the development of a downtown hotel with restaurant project. Ordinance 0-2602-09. Conduct a public hearing of an ordinance amending the Land Development Code to allow for the rezoning and special use of property located at 230 East McIntosh Street. This property is currently owned by Eagle Place Holdings LLC and Zone SFR2. Owner desires to rezone property to CBC with a special use for the development of a downtown hotel with restaurant project.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Clerk. Mr. Barnwell, if you will, go ahead with your report now.
This went before P&Z on March 2nd, HBC on March 12th. It passed both meetings, all in favor. At the March 2nd meeting, I've formally requested a traffic study be done on the intersections of Hancock and Elbert Street. I have the copies here.
Thank you.
Mr. Couch was gracious enough to tell me that the traffic study started in April. It will conclude end of April. Anybody have any other questions?
Give him a second, Mr. Barnwell. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and move on to those that will be speaking. Mr. Barnesville.
Yes, ma'am.
And then if they have any questions, we'll come back to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me remind those who wish to speak to come to the podium and state your name and address for the records. Is there anyone here present who would like to speak in favor of the amendments?
Good evening. My name is Matt Ressing, 248 Swint Avenue, and I represent the property owners that are making this petition. I have some letters of support from Georgia College, from Georgia Military College, and also from the Downtown Convention and Visitors Bureau. If, when you get a chance, if you wouldn't mind passing those around, and we would like to add those to the record. We also have a lot of community support here this evening. In the interest of time, we're not going to ask everybody to come up and speak in favor, but if you did come out tonight to support this project, would you mind raising your hand just to show support for it? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I do have a presentation, if it is working. If not, it's no big deal, but perfect. And I don't think it's up on the screen, but if anyone wants to see it, you're welcome to come to me after. I'll provide you with a copy. We have a rendering of this lovely project. It is a hotel and restaurant project. It is a Hilton Graduate Hotel, which is a really fantastic hotel property. It has the investment and the cachet of a Hilton hotel, but these graduate hotels are more integrated into the community. In fact, the lobby will be using historic items from Milledgeville. They've been talking with the Old Capitol Museum and really trying to make it a place that is grounded in the history of this community. And you can see that really with the design of this hotel as well. We have 7 properties. If you go to the next slide, or if you have a clicker, I can advance it myself. Perfect. So if you see the way this is styled, it has historic charm, modern appeal. That's the logo of our city, and that's what you see in this project. We are bringing a modern amenity to our city, but we're keeping the historic context. Next, please. We're going to bring in tourism and conferences with this. We're turning the Duckworth Farm Supply Center into a conference center where people in this community could use for different galas or dances or dinners. And also it could be used for groups that are taking the hotel as well. Next, please. This is going to boost all downtown businesses. It's going to bring in tourism. It's going to support our local tax dollars. Next, please. And it's going to create jobs of all sorts. So this will create jobs for people of all different educational backgrounds, for people of all different experience levels. As you can see on this slide, these are the 7 properties that are subject to this, and what we're asking is for all of them to be rezoned to special use CBC, and that's what allows a hotel and restaurant. Most of these are already within the CBC. We're just asking for the special use because you need that for the restaurant with the hotel. Next, please. This is the description of the Central Business Commercial District. It's exactly where a project like this should go. It emphasizes downtown development, a variety of commercial and residential uses, the central headquarters of business activity, and as you'll see, this is a very walkable design that's going to encourage walking in the downtown area of the hotel guests. Next, please. This is showing you what is there now, and in particular, I wanted to highlight the Thompson House. It's a historic home, 1910, 1920, and this home will be preserved and integrated into the project. So if you approve this project, we preserve that home for another 100 or 200 years. Next, please. And this is showing an artist's rendering of what it will look like. And as you can see that the Thompson House has been integrated into it. It's going to serve as VIP suites for the hotel. And we've actually developed this a little bit since the first rendering you saw. Now we aren't even going to have to change the profile of the home at all. So this was all approved by Historic Preservation Commission, as well as the Board of Zoning Appeals and the Planning and Zoning. Next, please. This is the Duckworth Farm Supply. This is the other historic building that will be preserved. It's iconic in our community, and as you can see from the next slide, it's going to be integrated into the design, freshened up. It's going to look beautiful, but it's still going to have that same iconic look. In fact, we're even preserving different features like that silo, so that it's going to be a hotel, but it's also going to be very Milledgeville. Next, please. And that is the project. I'm happy to answer any questions, and we appreciate your support. The city has been wonderful throughout this process. The zoning administrator, city manager, city staff, and all of you have been very supportive, and we appreciate it. This is the last step to get things moving. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ross. Any questions from council?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, is there anyone here who would like to speak in opposition to the amendment? All right. Moving on, council, there are no questions?
I don't have a question, but I do have some comments. I am just, been working with the group and, from, once they invited us in and gave us their idea, and it is exciting to see this coming to Milledgeville. And, I can't begin to tell you what, in my mind, my concept of this would do for this city. Is, I can just visualize people leaving there, walking to the restaurants downtown, and just enjoying the historic area of Milledgeville. And I just think that it's going to be great for us, great for anybody who wants to bring an event to the to GMC at their center and then have somewhere to stay instead of having to drive back down Columbia Street and into the city. So I just think it's going to be a good thing for Milledgeville, and I'm excited along with you all to see it coming.
A long time coming, Mr. Presley, and all of you, but we're excited about it. All right, this concludes the presentation of evidence in the public hearing. Is there a motion to adopt ordinance O-2602-03?
Madam Mayor, I motion to accept the findings of the Planning and Zoning Board and approve all of the requests.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly motion and second. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Dr. Lee.
Aye.
Ms. Simmons.
Aye.
Ms. Mapp.
Aye.
Ms. Pendergast. Dr. Wells. Aye. Ms. Shinholster.
Aye.
All right, and ordinance O-2602-03 passes. Is there a motion to adopt ordinance O-2602-04?
Mayor,
We did them all in mass.
Oh,
No.
those one we did.
That's what we voted.
Okay.
No, we need to,
No, you
we need
cannot.
to vote on them individually.
I thought we had to vote on these individually.
Okay.
Yes.
I thought so.
Motion to adopt.
Dr. Lee, motion first, and Ms. Simmons
Simmons.
second.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Dr. Lee.
aye.
Ms. Simmons.
Aye.
Ms. Mapp.
Aye.
Ms. Pendergast.
Aye.
Dr. Wells. Aye. Ms. Shinholster.
Aye.
All right,
That's right,
ordinance
get it
2602-04 passes. Is there a motion to adopt ordinance 2602-05?
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Properly motion and second. Clerk, please call the roll.
Dr. Lee.
Aye.
Ms. Simmons.
Aye.
Ms. Mapp.
Aye.
Ms. Pendergast.
Aye.
Dr. Wells. Aye. Ms. Shinholster.
Aye.
And ordinance 2602-05 passes. Is there a motion to adopt ordinance 2602-06?
Mayor, make this motion to accept the findings of the Planning and Zoning Board and approve the request.
Second.
All right, approved unanimously. I would ask the clerk to call the roll.
Dr. Lee.
Aye.
Ms. Simmons.
Aye.
Ms. Mapp.
Aye.
Ms. Pendergast. Dr. Wells. Aye. Ms. Shinholster.
Aye.
Ordinance, is there a motion to adopt ordinance O-2602-07?
Madam Mayor, I motion to accept the findings of the Planning and Zoning Board and approve the request.
Second.
Been properly motion and second. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Dr. Lee.
Aye.
Ms. Simmons.
Aye.
Ms. Mapp.
Aye.
Ms. Pendergast.
I recuse myself due to conflict of interest.
Dr. Wells.
Aye.
Ms.
For the
Shinholster.
record, you're abstaining.
Yes.
Thank you.
Did we get everybody in that roll call? You all threw me
Yes,
off.
Ms.
this-
Shinholster.
Ms.
Aye.
Okay. All right, so ordinance 07 is adopted. Is there a motion to adopt ordinance O-2602-08?
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Dr. Lee.
Aye.
Ms. Simmons.
Aye.
Ms. Mapp.
Aye.
Ms. Pendergast.
Aye.
Dr. Wells.
Aye.
Ms. Shinholster.
Aye.
The motion, the ordinance is adopted. Is there a motion to adopt ordinance O-2602-09?
Madam Mayor, I move that we adopt the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Second.
All right, been properly motioned in second. I'll ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Dr. Lee? Ms. Simmons?
Aye.
Ms. Mapp?
Aye.
Ms. Pendergast? Dr. Wells?
Aye.
Ms. Shinholster?
Aye.
And finally, all of them are adopted and passed. That concludes our public hearing for land use this evening. We will now move to new business, part of the agenda tonight, and I'll ask the clerk to read ordinance O-2604-14 by caption as a first read.
Mayor, it was it's 2406-13, 2604-13. It was an error.
Okay. We'll now move to new business, and I'll ask the clerk to read ordinance 2604-13 by caption.
Ordinance O-2604-13, conduct the first reading of an ordinance amending the charter to accept approximately 1.56 acres of land into the incorporated limits of the city of Milledgeville with a zoning of heavy commercial for a manufactured home dealership. The property is located at 2747 North Columbia Street, Baldwin County, tax map 085, parcel 045, and is presently owned by Wilson King.
All right. This is a first read of this ordinance, and I'm referring it to the Planning and Zoning Commission. I will ask the clerk to read resolution R-2604-09 by caption.
Resolution R-2604-09 to authorize a sales lease agreement with Superior Document Solutions for the provision and maintenance of a copier machine in the Executive Department, Fire Department Station 2 on Dunlap Road, Finance Department, Water and Sewer Department, and the Water and Sewer Maintenance Department of the City of Milledgeville.
All right, you have heard the resolution. Is there a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I will ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Dr. Lee? Ms. Simmons?
Aye.
Ms. Mapp?
Aye.
Ms. Pendergast? Dr. Wells?
Aye.
Ms. Shinholster?
Aye.
The resolution is approved. We have one alcohol application to consider this evening, and I will ask the clerk to present it at this time.
Applicant Bronson and Triplet Enterprise LLC, doing business as B&T's Food Fresh, located at 731 South Wayne Street, for beer, wine, and liquor consumption on premises.
Package
Is this
to
to
go.
go?
Package to go.
Yes.
Is it package
Yeah.
to go?
It's
You
beer.
roll it
Document on
down,
the screen
screen
is
is-
package to go. but
It's beer and wine
No-
package
no
to
liquor
go.
on this
No
one.
liquor.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Consumption on premises.
No,
No,
no
he
consent.
had-
Retail package to go.
Okay, I'm reading from something else. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's beer and wine.
Retail package to go, beer and wine.
Mhm.
All right, you have heard the application. Is there a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Dr. Lee? Ms. Simmons?
Aye.
Ms. Mapp?
Aye.
Ms. Pendergast? Dr. Wells?
Aye.
Ms. Shinholster?
Aye.
All right. The final item on the agenda is to make two first-time appointments tonight. I would like to nominate Abraham Adibi. Can you pronounce it? Adibi. Am I pronouncing your name correct? Is he? A baby. Okay, a baby. Is that person present? No? Okay. Is there a motion to confirm this nomination?
So moved.
This is a new committee, correct?
Yeah, this is our new Public
Committee.
Arts Committee.
Mhm. And normally I would confirm, however, Do we need to second?
We
We
need
need a
a second.
motion and a second on it, okay.
Second,
Who motioned it?
Dr. Wells.
Dr. Wills, okay, I'm sorry. Dr. Wills and Ms. Shinhouser. Is there any discussion? All right, I would ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Dr. Lee?
Aye.
Ms. Simmons?
Aye.
Ms. Mapp?
Aye.
Ms. Pendergast?
Aye.
Dr. Wills?
Aye.
Ms. Shinholster?
Aye.
All right, the confirmation is approved. Secondly, I'm nominating Mr. Mark Weaver. Got a good one. For appointment to the Public Arts Committee. Is there a motion to confirm this nomination?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Dr. Lee?
Aye.
Ms. Simmons?
Aye.
Ms. Mapp?
Aye.
Ms. Pendergast?
Aye.
Dr. Wills?
Aye.
Ms. Shinholster?
Aye.
All right, the nomination is approved. After speaking with our legal counsel tonight, we will not be going into closed session. So this concludes the items on the agenda. Does anyone on council have questions or comments? What I would like to say, we didn't bring up Mr. Wells, the Exchange Club guy that died. What was his?
Jordan Norval.
Jordan Norbert. We
He was
did.
our president.
Okay, yeah, I remember meeting him when I saw that in the paper. Keep him and his family, or his family, in your prayers. He was the one that was in the helicopter. Was it an airplane?
It was an ATV that
ATV.
rolled over on.
Okay. That got killed about a week ago, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Good Friday.
You know, he was at council meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Had just celebrated his 40th birthday.
Oh, wow.
Oh, gosh, he was very young.
Condolences.
I do have something to state or ask. Due to the heavy volume of complaints from the constituents in my district, the question has arisen, are we going to put out an RFP for trash contract? So that was something that has been really heavy on the constituents' heart. Wanting to know, are we going to give anyone else an opportunity to possibly go up for bid on the trash contracts?
We haven't put it out for bid yet, have we?
No, they want to know when or if.
Well, we can't give them that answer just.
Or if, yeah.
Yeah, we can't give them out. It will eventually, but we just haven't put it out as of right now.
Yeah. But I have a question on that regard. Have those complaints been passed on to the people in the
Waste management, yeah.
Not to waste management, but to our people.
As far as
in the
I know,
business
it's
office,
been.
so that they can make sure that waste management is taken care of, because that's your first. We're the first
Ms.
stop.
Melvin.
Right,
If
absolutely.
there are complaints, and
Absolutely.
because we're the ones that are contracted with them, so
Absolutely.
every time I have a complaint, I do contact the business office and make sure that, and they generally get it taken care of for everybody. And if you do that, they have a direct access to the manager there at for waste management, and they generally, when we call, they take care of it right away. So
Yes, ma'am. Those are
knocks
some of
down
the first
complaints.
questions that I do ask. Have you guys spoke to or brought it to anyone's attention? And the majority is yes, numerous times, and still same issues. So
Have you checked though with them yourself?
I would do further checking.
Okay, that's the best thing to do. If your citizens have a complaint and they tell you they've been complaining, then the first thing that I do as their representative is check with the business office and find out how the complaint has been handled and what were the results, so I can have something to go back to the citizens rather than saying that the business office is not doing what
Absolutely.
they're supposed to do.
Absolutely.
Ms. Melba, are you aware? Have you been made aware?
Typically, I have been receiving complaints, but I have not received any complaints in quite a while. So I'm not aware of any new or recent complaints.
It's not new, but it's been throughout the years. Yeah.
Older complaints, at the time in my previous position, I would take care of those complaints and reach out to Waste Management and they'd resolve them immediately. So I have not received any complaints in recent months about any
So let's not forget that we have a city manager here too, that we need to make her aware.
Definitely a concern with the constituents. Yeah.
make her aware of what's happening as well. Because when the calls come in, generally, they're gonna come to her or I, as well as you all. But they come to us more over than they do probably you all a lot of times. I know most of y'all can handle your districts fairly well, no problems with it. But if we all team together, if you're having a problem in whatever district, let us know what's going on, let Ms. Melba know so we can try to reach out and help or reach out and touch whoever we need to touch in reference to it. And that way we kind of have each other's back when something's going on. Because, you know, I share with people all the time is, you know, you have representatives in your district when they call me, but then as the mayor over every district being elected, I kind of like to know too when y'all have complaints. Let me know as well so that I'm not double tracking whatever you've told your district, your constituents in your district, that I'm not going back over whatever you've said. Because 9 times out of 10, when I get the call, I'm going to contact y'all directly and say, hey, I received a call from your district rep. Your district constituent. And this is what's going on. So make sure y'all follow up and let Ms. Melba and I know as well as what's going on in your districts.
If anything new comes up, yep, I will.
We did ask.
Wait, hold on. We got one question going on now.
No, I was just saying it's old news. If anything new comes up, I will. It's just the same complaints throughout.
It's really a question for Madam Mayor and our Madam City Manager. It was clear that we are doing an RFP. Is that correct? We just don't have a timeline yet. Okay.
That's all we need to know.
Because I haven't gotten any per se complaints recently, but just questions about that. You know, hey, is the city considering? So I just would like to pass on accurate information.
I don't know if any of you all attended the Art Healthy Festival this weekend. Was it successful? Did you all attend?
It was beautiful.
I went through over. I was trying to find Greg, and he was pretty busy.
Okay. Did you say you went, Miss?
Yeah, it was a beautiful weekend, and it was a nice one. Really enjoyed the art itself. It was really nice.
Great. I'm glad it was successful. I know Dr. Wells just said we have a cleanup day coming on the 25th.
We do, April 25th, starting at 9:30. Actually, you can start whenever you'd like, but I was going to send an official request to the city manager that we're able to meet at the fire department on Dunlap again and disperse. I do want to issue a personal invitation to you to join us. I will escort you if you need me to.
I'd love to be there, but you know what? I told you I would be there, and then my son, my oldest grandson, is getting ready to go in the military, and we're doing something special for him.
Well, we're very proud of him, and congratulations.
Thank you. So,
very proud to hear that. Well, I will pick up a bag of trash on your behalf.
Thank you. Thank you. I greatly appreciate that. Anybody else? Anything else before we close?
Since you mentioned military, I just have to say something about my grandson who is serving in the Navy right now. Woo. And they are somewhere, and he's on a nuclear sub, and he is somewhere serving. We don't know where he is, and he probably doesn't really know where he is on the submarine, but I ask that you all pray for him.
Absolutely.
Especially during this time, because we have been truly worried about the way things are going now for this country. So all of our military people, if you all would, just remember them in prayer. Thank you.
Certainly. Thank you.
Mayor, before we go, we won't have a meeting. Well, we will. We'll have a call meeting on the 21st, but I just wanted to, in advance, Administrative Professionals Day is on April 22nd. So just in advance, in case I don't see anyone, happy Administrative Professionals Day to all of y'all administrators out there. We appreciate everything that you do.
Yes.
I second that
Thank you.
motion.
Yes.
Great staff. Thank you for all that you do. All right. So there being nothing else, get a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All right. Clerk, please call the roll.
Dr. Lee?